How's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to tell you why you should ditch your entire disc golf bag. But before we can get into that, we got to stop at my house real quick. Now, the reason this video has to start down here in my basement where all my discs are is because we're building a new bag. And not for the reason you might be suspecting. I know I said we're getting rid of the other bag, we're building a new one, and that sounds a little crazy, but just hear me out. What I'm going to be showing you here today is kind of an exercise that I like to do in this sport. It serves a number of purposes. I think one of the main ones is for those of you who have fatigue in disc golf, whether that just be from playing the sport a lot or playing the sport and trying to get better and just kind of hitting a wall and maybe getting tired of it. So I think this exercise kind of serves those people. And I think it also serves people who are trying to get better at disc golf, may not be tired of it, but this can be a fun exercise to maybe break through a plateau and discover some new parts of your game you hadn't thought of before. So what I'm going to be doing exactly is I'm down here, I'm going to grab just another bag that I have. You can use your same bag. I just happen to have one handy. And I'm going to fill this with completely new discs. These are discs preferably that I've never used before. Now, I also want to preface this by saying you don't need to have hundreds of discs just lined up for you to choose from in order to do this. I'm sure some of you watching have more discs than I do. I'm sure a lot of you have less. It doesn't matter. As long as you have just at least one disc to swap each out with, this will work just fine. And if you don't even have that many, just make a few swaps and just change your bag up as much as you can. You don't have to do a complete switch if you don't have enough discs to make a new bag completely. So I'm gonna go through here, I'm gonna pick all these new discs, I'm gonna put in my bag and I'm gonna go play around with it. Now, why am I doing this? A lot of times what can happen in disc golf is you settle into one bag that you like, you build it over time, and then you really just stick with it. Now, this isn't every player that I'm describing, but I think it is quite a few of them, myself included, and even though I rotate discs in and out, sometimes I get stuck on quite a few that just never really leave the bag, and my bag can get a little stale. One of the most fun parts about playing disc golf is the discs. I would say it's kind of a central focus, especially for myself when I got into this sport. And all too often, you know, we collect all these discs, we buy them all, and then we never really get a chance to use them. I can tell you from personal experience, I have so many awesome discs that I would love to throw, and I just never have. So much so to the point where when I lose a disc or need to replace one, I actually get really excited at the thought of putting a new one in that I haven't thrown yet, and a little overwhelmed because I have so many options. So what this exercise does is it forces me to throw all these new discs and just try them almost as its own separate thing. And that way, if I really like some of them and I find a need to put it in my current bag, now I've actually vetted those discs, I've thrown them before. And even if I'm not ready to put them in my bag quite yet, once I lose another one, I know what a good backup is. Because if you're not prepared to have a backup for a disc that you lose, it can be a little exhausting trying to find one. I would also say this exercise is good for those of you who are just trying to get better at disc golf and your bag has stayed the same for quite some time. Maybe introducing new discs could be what allows you to find different shots you hadn't thrown before, or maybe there's just a disc you're really good with that you haven't quite thrown yet. I would just really encourage you to give this a try. I know a lot of people do this already. Some people like having multiple bags at all times to just carry out, but I really do think it is a lot of fun to try new discs, especially ones that you've already invested in and you have. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So like I said, I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna try and pick discs that are very interesting, ones I'd love to try out and don't know a ton about. We'll start with the putters and then we'll kind of work our way up to the drivers. I'm gonna try and fill out an entire bag. And granted, I may not get to throw every single disc during the round I play, but I'll try to be as liberal as possible when selecting them and kind of spreading the love. Now, putting putter, I can't change. That does have to stay the candy because I'm kind of tied into that. Not because of some contractual agreement, but just a thing that I do on social media every year where my putter gets chosen. So the putting putter is not going to change. It's still going to be the Clash Discs candy, but I will throw in a few different throwing putters. Another thing I'll say about this exercise is when you're putting your new bag together, maybe instead of just trying to think about the way your bag is created currently, like for instance, I currently have 5 different mid-ranges and they fill certain slots. Maybe instead of that, with this bag, I'll do 7 mid-ranges, or I'll only do 2 mid-ranges, and I'll force myself to create a bag in a different style. Because that's something else you can take away from this. Maybe you go out to the course and you have way more fairway drivers than normal, so you have to throw them more, and you realize, wow, fairway drivers are great, and I throw them almost as far as my distance drivers. I should have more fairway drivers. This is just kind of a way to give yourself a blank slate and learn stuff about your game that you might not learn, because when you're stuck in the same bag for a long time, you're kind of in this constant loop. And it is a way to get better at disc golf, you know, having the same consistent tools, but sometimes it's good to freshen things up. All right, no more stalling, into the bag. Okay, I'm gonna start out here with something really fun. This is a old Discraft Crystal Z Challenger. This one I guess I got from a used section somewhere, and I picked it up because I think it looks pretty sweet and I've been wanting to try it out. So that's gonna be one of my throwing putters. I think for my other throwing putter, I'm gonna go with this Prodigy PA4. Reason being, I used to throw these in college, really liked them, but other than the one video I tossed this in maybe once or twice, I haven't thrown them in a while. So I'm gonna throw this one as well. All right, next I'm looking for some approach discs. One that stands out to me is this Gateway Devil Hawk. I really like this thing. I think it's a sick plastic blend and feels really good in the hand. And I never really tried this much. I think I might have thrown it once or twice. So I'm gonna throw this in the bag. I'm not gonna spend too much of the bag real estate on putters and approach discs. I think I'll stick with this unless I spot something else I like, because realistically, they don't fly too much different from each other. The mids and then especially the drivers are where things will get a little interesting. Okay, I got my mid-range lineup. I've got this Solstice from Millennium. I picked up at USDGC, maybe threw it once. I heard this is kind of similar to the MD4 from Discmania, so I want to try that out. I have an actual MD4. This is actually a stiff P-line MD4 from Discmania. I don't remember where I found this, but I just think the idea of a baseline original MD4 sounds really cool, so I'm going to try that. Then I've got this, I think this is a 500 M4 with the Justin Rozak stamp. Never threw this. Then I got a couple fun Innova ones. This is a Star Rock somebody gifted me with my local club's or my former local club's stamp on it, and I never threw it, and I think it looks like an awesome disc. And then I have this old school Champ Viper that I want to try. Technically called a mid-range, even though it might be more of a fairway, but that's the mids we're going to go with. All right, let's get some fairways. All right, got a nice selection of fairways here. I'm going with the Clash Discs Cookie, this one in the Sunny plastic. I also got a Clash Discs Lotus, maybe thrown each of those a couple times, don't really know what they do. Then I've got this DJ Avalanche, feels pretty nice. And then we've got a, I think this is a Rival. Yeah, Rival from Legacy. I got this at a tournament in Las Vegas. Felt really good in the hand. And this is a Crystal Stalker that Paul Macbeth gave me a long time ago. Actually, it almost still has his signature on there. And I don't think I ever threw it. So I really like the Stalker, so I should give that a try. And then this is a Halo Thunderbird. You know what? I don't have any other discs with this stamp. I'm not going to throw this one. Instead, I'm going to go with this First Run Passion because I don't think I ever threw it. Everybody loves the Passion. I just never really throw them. All right, we'll grab a couple distance drivers and then we should be good to go. All right, got some really fun distance drivers here. We've got this Yuli stamped Nuke OS, but it's Z Light plastic, so it's only like 159 grams. I've got this 2008 David Feldberg Boss that I've never thrown. Got it in the used section. This is a La Mirada stamped Champ Turn that I got when I was at La Mirada. This is a old two-time champion Beast, Barry Schultz Beast. Always wanted to toss that. And then I got a First Run Discraft Pulse and a Innova Champion Monster. Now you'll notice a lot of those distance drivers especially are like really old molds. And I think a lot of the discs I have sitting on the shelf are like that, where I picked them up specifically just because they're old and then just never threw them, but this is my chance. Now I'm gonna throw them, and then they may be really hard to replace, but who knows? Okay, I think we got a pretty nice bag here. Let's get back out to the course. All right, so now that we have our entire bag, I'm out here at Sandusky Park and we're gonna test it out, see what sticks. And I'm excited to throw some of these discs. So now that we're out here at the course, the premise of today's video is to really just see if any of these discs stick, but I'll make it a little interesting because you know, even though I'm just trying to demonstrate a concept, I still wanted to be entertaining golf for you to watch. So even though I'm throwing new discs, I'm going to set a line for myself to beat here today. I'm going to play holes 1 through 4, and then I'm going to play holes 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So a 9-hole loop total. And we're going to set the line at, let's be aggressive. Let's say 4 under. I got to shoot 4 under or better. If I don't shoot that, I'm going to give away every disc I just selected into that bag. I'm going to give them all away to one lucky subscriber. And if I do hit the line, maybe I'll still just give away one of the discs. But if I don't hit it, I'm giving away them all. So if you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that down below because one of my subscribers would be the winner of this giveaway. All right, hole 1. I like to go backhand on this hole. The forehand's really the play, but I'm not good at it. I'm going to go ahead and try out this Star Rock. I'm really excited about this. Ooh, good branch. Okay, it held the anhyzer longer than I thought. It's definitely a pretty straight disc. I did get to probably about 35 feet, so we'll see what happens. Now, a bit of an unfortunate event. I did mention I was going to putt with my candy in the basement there. I forgot to bring it out here. This is actually the next day. And so that means I'm stuck putting with the Z Challenger. So I'm sure that'll go super well. It's a pretty decent look though on hole 1. I kind of want to make this here. Well, I don't kind of want to make it. I do want to make it. Stay up. All right. Hey, okay. Maybe Z Challengers are my thing. 1 under. That's a good start to keeping all my discs. All right, hole number 2. I need something nice and overstable here. I'm going to try out this Champ Viper. This is a very interesting disc. It almost feels like a driver and a mid at the same time, but hopefully it goes left. Feels stable. Oh, it's stable. I didn't throw it there. That was not very good, and I did not get a good skip either. All right, not the look you want on hole 2, seeing as it is so easy, but who knows? Maybe we can keep the magic alive. I don't have to straddle this. Oh, it's left. Not the worst putt I've ever thrown in my life. I like the way that Viper flew, though. This Viper is pretty nice. I mean, I didn't throw it super hard, but it had good bite to it. I liked that. Just tap out here. All right, 1 under through 2. Can't complain. I think I mentioned this before, but one thing about these rounds is you might not get to throw every single one of the discs you brought out to try. And what I would recommend doing is at the end of your round, if there's anything you didn't throw, just go over to a field or one of the holes you already played and just toss everything at least once, because you've already taken the time to bring those discs out there. You might as well give them a fair shot. All right, got a 4-hand hole on hole 3. I'm going with the DJ Avalanche. It's a pretty wobbly forehand. Definitely overstable. It's not quite putting enough oomph behind it. Just got to throw it harder. Another below average look on an easy hole. Not looking great for my expectations. I'm sure as the audience, you're probably rooting for it though. It's okay. You know, I've gotten to the point now where I feel like I'm throwing not embarrassing step putts, but I'm not threatening the basket at any point. All right, 1 under through 3. Not ideal. Not ideal. Hole 4, we're going to try the Passion. Flip. That looks really good. Sit. I think that might be parked. So I genuinely haven't really messed with the Passion, even though I watch my friends constantly throw awesome shots with it, but I totally get the hype. I mean, that was a nice hyzer flip, and I'm not really a good hyzer flip player, but 28 feet here. Get in there. Yes. That was nice. That's 2 like slightly above average putts with the Crystal Z Challenger. Maybe I don't even need to throw this disc. It's just gonna be my new putter. Okay, we skipped over to 14 now. Good start. I mean, I actually did not expect to get 4, so 2 under with the back holes to play now. 4 under might not be too difficult. I may have made it too easy on myself. We'll see. Gonna go with this P-Line MD4. This thing's been thrown a couple times, but not by me. I don't believe I've ever thrown it. I've thrown C-Line MD4s, but never the P-Line. It's basically KC Pro, which I love. So I want to see if I can work it onto an anhyzer and get it to flex back here. Oh, it holds the anhyzer. Left it kind of short again. I don't know like if I'm just forgetting that I need to throw hard, but that actually held the anhyzer more than I thought, which I kind of like. It's like a straight disc, but I thought that'd have more bite to it. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are going to try this concept out, by the way, and try playing with a completely different bag. Let me know if there's any discs that you're excited to try out, and also let me know if you like videos that have an element of instruction, or I wouldn't even necessarily call this instruction. It was more of a fun idea, but more of a talking, speaking element integrated. I've noticed that a lot of people do enjoy that, but maybe some of you don't. So let me know in the comments. I always like the constructive criticism. It always helps out, and you guys are really respectful in the comments. Honestly, like, I've been on YouTube a lot, and I feel like sometimes the audience can get a little hostile, but I really enjoy being in this community because everybody is very kind. And so let's keep that up. It's been great. Everybody's very respectful of each other in the comments. Just good stuff. Dang, good line. I'm hitting really good lines with that putter. Not generating a ton of speed, but it was a decent little bid. Par. All right, 15 is a dog leg right. I usually try to chip something overstable on this hole. I'm going to go with this Ulibarri Nuke OS. Curious to see how much bite it has. By the way, since I won't get to throw every single disc in this video, if there's one that you saw me pick out that you really were interested to watch fly and you want to see me throw it, just put that in the comments down below, and maybe I'll add it into a bag for another video, because I like mixing it up, and there are a lot of discs in there that I want to throw that I might not get a chance to on this course. All right. I like the feel of this disc. I love forehanding lightweight discs. It's like my elbow just breathes a sigh of relief. I mean, it's just so easy. And look at the way that thing's going to bite. That was great. Get in the ditch. Okay, once again, theme for this video, I left it a little bit, wow, it's still rolling. I left it a little bit short, didn't push it far enough, so it's not really, it's like a jump up. I didn't quite get it to the ditch down there, but I liked the way that was so effortless. That Z light, man, so effortless, and it still had a ton of bite at the end. Listen, light doesn't just mean flippy. It just means not great in the wind. All right, actually a very daunting upshot here. I'm gonna go with the Devil Hawk, just try and chip it. Yeah, just sit there. Yeah, not bad. It's like 15 feet. Boom. I will say I've definitely not been hindered by this putter. That really says a lot. All right, 16 is a Chip Heiser, par 3. I'm gonna throw this James Proctor Cookie. Really fascinating disc, because like as flat can be. Feels like it'd be crazy overstable, but I feel like they're not, if I remember correctly. I don't think I threw this one yet, but I think I've seen people throw this mold. So I'm throwing it on a ton of Heiser anyway, so it shouldn't matter. Oh, I like that. Is it long enough? Short again. Eventually I'll learn, maybe. I'm gonna try and just flick the PA4, but not a great look. It's looking like I'm gonna have to make it happen on 17, 18. 17 is eagleable, so that helps. Oh, I love it. Get down. Hit the tree and bounce. Dang. Actually a decent line. I went long for once. I'm always getting ahead of myself. I was like, oh man, I birdied like 2 of the first 4. This is gonna be so easy. And then par, par, par. All right, on the reachable par 4 here, I'm gonna go with the Nuke OS again because I really wanna throw it and there's a little bit of a headwind. So we'll see what it can do. I'm gonna trust it a lot. Oh, I yanked it. It's coming back though. I will say this about the really light disc is you kind of like lose the feeling for it in your hand. I don't know if you've ever played golf. Some guys will put lead tape on their clubs because they'll lose feeling of the club head if they get really, especially if they're really strong guys. I'm not saying I'm strong. That disc is really light and I'm used to heavier. So when it's in my hand, I almost couldn't time it as well because I couldn't feel the disc as much, in like the weight of it in my hand, if that makes sense. Still worked out pretty good. It's a lot of fun to throw. I mean, you feel like you can throw forever. All right, well, I've landed in worse spots and at least I'm inbounds. So step putt for eagle here. Come back. Dang it. All right, got the birdie nonetheless. It all comes down to 18. Perfect drama. Couldn't script it any better. Got a birdie 18. If I don't birdie it, I'm giving away all of this in my bag right now. This bag, that is. And if I do birdie 18, I'm still gonna give away some of them, so stick around. All right, final hole, hole 18. I'm actually gonna go with the Viper because I kind of stink at this hole when I try and attack it straight on. So I'm gonna try and just like throw this hard and into the hill and let it skip up. I feel like that's my best chance. Oh, it's close. Wow, it is way too stable for that. Ooh, it did get up top though. Okay, that was very ugly, but I think it is gonna putt. All right, lie isn't great here, but it's very doable, not super far. We'll take it. Gotta make it here. Gotta hyzer it in. Get in there. Oh, it wasn't pretty. I gotta be honest. I was not expecting to make that in the slightest. I was preparing my giveaway speech. That surprised me a little bit. This putter has surprised me today. All right, so that'll do it for today. I did hit the goal, so I'm not giving away the entire bag of discs. Sorry to disappoint. I honestly set up a lot of these goals with the idea that my lack of skill will push through and allow me to give away a lot of plastic. That's how it's worked so far on this channel. But I'm gonna give away some of these discs anyways because I don't want to leave you hanging. So what I'll have you do is make sure you're subscribed to this channel, make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter, and then go ahead and leave a comment down below in this video with which disc you'd like from this bag that I made up, and I will pick a few of you and send those discs out to you because even though I really like some of these today and I think certain discs like maybe that Passion will probably get a run in my bag, I'm not going to get to throw all of them, and they don't do any good sitting on my shelves. I'd rather have people who would love to throw them getting to try them out. So yeah, I will mention also, you know, kind of to wrap up the idea of the video, discs that I'm definitely going to try beyond this video. The Nuke OS, the Yuli stamped one, loved it. And I should mention, I'm going to try them unless I pick a giveaway winner that takes it from me, which is totally fine. I really like the Passion. That one drive I threw with it, I'm going to pursue that a little further. And from the mid-ranges, they all kind of flew pretty similar. So I don't know about any of those. And maybe I need to switch putters to Crystal Sea Challengers next year because that kind of worked out. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next Monday with another one.